A remote and forbidding Arctic island, home only to a weather station and the odd polar bear, is about to become a bustling military base. That's because Russia is boosting its naval presence in the region. RT's Murad Gazdiev was among the first new arrivals.
The island of Kotelny looks like a barren wasteland, and that's because it is. Alien may be the best word to describe a landscape that looks eerily like you'd imagine the surface of Mars. There's not a tree nor a shrub in sight.
One of the major features of the island of Kotelny is its sheer hostility to life. Much of the island is made up of this, rocks and pebbles, and just a few meters below us is permafrost, as it never gets warm enough here to properly thaw out.
But that hasn't stopped man. While the island was abandoned by the Soviet military decades ago, a remote meteorological station stayed on. The station team was overjoyed to host the Rear Admiral. There aren't many visitors up here. A pack of dogs greeted us at the helicopter pad. The first and best line of defense against curious polar bears, affectionately called Mishkas, who wander in from time to time.
The polar bears here only pretend to be scared of the dogs.
But they do leave?
Eventually. They aren't scared of one dog, but the pack surrounds them, confuses them, and eventually they run away back into the tundra.
After lunch, Igor showed us one of the island's treasures, a mammoth's tusk. Apparently, there's been a real problem with mainlanders coming in and setting up illegal dig sites. He was also happy that the Russian military was back. Company at last.
This is the new home of the 99th Arctic Tactical Group, which will be stationed here on the island of Kotelny permanently. Now, their accommodations for now, they may look humble, and they are, but big things are expected on this island. Just to our right, a new runway is being paved, while a few kilometers to the north, an entire city is being brought up to house the military.
An army of construction workers and equipment have been brought into the island, and they've got their work cut out for them. There are no roads, no infrastructures to speak of. It really is one rough ride.
This is normal for Arctic latitudes. The conditions are of course harsh, but we're coping. We've got the food, the equipment, so we'll survive just fine.
Moscow's sparing no expense on its Arctic projects, much like Canada, America, and other nations contending for the North Pole. But while Russia's icebreaker fleet and experience in the Arctic give it an edge, nothing's being left to chance. Murad Gazdiev, RT, Kotelny Island.
And you can follow Murad's tour of duty on his day-to-day blog at rt.com.
Just a few hundred kilometers north of here, the Arctic begins. Its sheer, merciless cold has largely kept man out so far, but that's now changing. The ice is melting, and the immense treasures it hid are now being revealed. Join us here on RT as we journey to the North Pole with the Russian fleet and see it all firsthand.